be focusing a little more on spreading this knowledge out to the newer generations, to kids, and focusing on the question of what the school of tomorrow would look like. Is there a potential of having people start to think differently about hackers, or about makers, or about tinkerers, or whatever they call them? As in, these are not the outside people, but these are people that actually try to get back the knowledge that we all, or most of us, lost after an industrial revolution, where all of a sudden you're not working on an object anymore from start to end and know the whole process, know what you're creating, but rather you're working a little part there, you leave your work, and you become a consumer most of your time. And you would take all the devices, all those shiny things that all different corporations, companies provide you with, and just use them in a manner that they were designed for, rather than rethinking what they could be used for, how they could be improved, or what else you could make out of them. And this is why we should educate children just as much, because these are the people that will learn the ability to rethink things. It's not just that they will learn a little bit of soldering, they would learn a little bit of programming, they would learn a little bit of playing Go. This is all very nice things, right? But the actual meaning of these workshops, of these lectures, of these talks, is that people start to think about their own approach towards consumerism. One more project that we came up recently is called Hacker Talks. This is still in beta, so it is so beta that actually you can only just sign up for a trial version. It is a platform that will eventually, at some point, hopefully very soon, contain all the references, all the links to any video, any documentation, any white paper, any audio recording that is in any way related to hacking, to technology, to digital art, you name it. And you would be able to go there, search through a database of all the knowledge that is out there already, but probably sleeping somewhere on a hard drive or on an FTP server that you wouldn't probably come around by Googling for it. And the other core feature of Hacker Talks is again about learning. You would be able to stumble through the videos, through the recordings, through whatever, by saying, well, I'm waiting for my plane right now. I have about an hour to go. So I'm interested in, let's say, programming in Python using the Pylons framework or the Django framework, but also I'm a little bit interested in database relational stuff. So you would enter your preferences, you would enter the time that you have, and you can make actual use of the time by getting suggestions of what to watch within this 1 hour, rather than just stumbling across the internet or reading a Twitter feed or whatever you would do within an hour that you don't have anything else to do. But generally, what is the future of everything? This is what we're trying to work out, and if you people have any idea of what the future of everything should look like, well, I will most gladly hear it, because in all these spaces, on the lists, on the wiki, on whatever, we have a constant discussion on how could we expand this, how could we communicate this to the world more, how can we generally make the world a better place without being overly political. I want to reference a short excerpt here of a discussion I had recently. There was a French journalist visiting the MedLab, and we would be sitting together. He would interview us, and eventually he would ask, so what are the political views we share in this hackerspace? And so there was like 3 board members of the Metal Lab sitting there, and all of them like right away would deny there was any political idea behind this. They would be like, this is not about politics, we don't care about your politics, we don't ask anyone for any, and a hackerspace generally doesn't have any politics or nothing to do with this. Now the journalist would ask, so yes, I understand this, right? You're not trying to exclude anyone, you're trying to be as open as possible, but what are your personal views on politics, on economics? And again, you would get the same answer, saying, well, this is not what we're focusing on, right? We don't care about this, we just do our projects. And I think this is one of the core problems that we have in the hackerspace culture right now, that as we can see, we get a huge impact in all different kinds of media, press coverage. And we're not actually making use of that, but we're just communicating, well, I'm working on this little robot project, and the guy over there is working on this LED matrix. And then we have a couple of programmers and some system administrators, and we have some security people trying to work on a test lab. This is not the whole point. The point must be, how does this affect the outside world? Because apparently, if we're working on the technologies of tomorrow, we can also change the future of tomorrow. And if we're not aware of the fact that we're in this position, in this very lead position, in this leading position, then we will not change anything, or we will probably not even know what we could be changing. So the future of everything, the future that we're trying to build right now, is not apparent enough to us, and this is what should be discussed just alongside the discussion of how to learn in the future on a regular basis. I will actually end this talk about hackerspaces in general with this little quote that has been very famous around the CCC before, and saying again that this movement will have a very, very huge impact, not only just on the motivation of people that are already in this group, but most definitely also on politics and economics in general. And we shouldn't deny this. So, as I know, we have a lot of people here from a new hackerspace that has just been founded recently being October 2008, if I'm not mistaken, in Brussels, the HSB Hackerspace Brussels. And I think they wanted to make a few announcements about what they're doing right now as well. I have a couple of pictures, but yay!
Is it working? Oh, yeah, cool. I'm Peter. I'm from Hackerspace Brussels. Quick word on what we are doing. So, yeah, we started from October 2008, but like more monthly workshops. And then we met in the December 2008 Congress in Berlin with a bunch of 10 people and decided to get together on a weekly basis in Brussels in a space. Quite nearby, like 1.5 kilometers from this venue. Started thinking about doing workshops, doing little projects. There's a bunch of people here, but if you want to check out the space and meet us, tonight we are open. And I guess you can find the link on the Brucon website too. What's the pictures? Yeah, it's a small space. It's like 90 square meters.
I think what you should also not forget to mention is that I saw you have quite a lot of events. I mean, right now you're announcing that you're here. Actually, you can see a couple of stuff downstairs.